Hey, welcome NYC. This is your host LIE. This is N.Y.K. Culture, the New York Knicks news and everything Knicks. So, how you doing today? I just want to start off with some Knicks news. Basically, I want to talk about Clydes Wine and Dine has closed due to the pandemic. Everybody, I just want to get right into this. After 9 years in Hell's Kitchen, due to financial losses and city enforcement of vaccine requirements for all indoor dining. Uh, it basically closed down now, all right? So, sad news. So, in a statement by Michael Weinstein, a partner with Claude Frazier and CEO of Arc Restaurants Corp., he made a statement. He said, Clyde's amazing. And if it wasn't for him, a person of his status, we probably would have closed it earlier. That says a lot because, Clyde was very hands-on with everybody and he definitely ran the business like his baby. So, also, the restaurant initially closed in August, which I wasn't aware of. And they had a plan to reopen it this month in September. So, but due to the Delta variant surge, changed any hope of financial recovery. It changed it. They basically couldn't open back up, and I just wish them the best. I have a personal story with that because even if you look at my basically my screensaver, that's me and Clyde. So I went to the restaurant, I met him. That was at Clyde's Wine and Dine on my birthday. I have a funny story. The lady at the front desk, she just said to me, "Yeah, Clyde comes in here occasionally," and I was like, "Yeah, good sales pitch." So I didn't know, but basically, I was with my family, and he came in and he came to our table. I was so shocked. I was like, "Wow!" On my birthday. So Clyde, best of luck to you with everything you do, brother, and I'm gonna support you. Hopefully, they'll open up in the near future. Clyde's Wine and Dine. Okay, so for other news, we had Trae Young in the Garden again, trolling. He can't stay away from the Garden, folks. Trae Young of the Atlanta Hawks. So what happened is, though, Trae Young, he had appearance, basically a special appearance as a guest on Friday with WWE SmackDown for an episode. So he was in the Garden. We all know Trae Young. He tried to troll us on the Garden floor, gave us the choke signs and stuff like that. But eventually he got bounced out by the eventual world champion Milwaukee Bucks. So good luck this year, Trae. Not. We have a backcourt for you. We're ready, all right? So now I want to bounce into a segment, though, on the upbeat level called This or That. That's a segment that I like to go over. And I want to just talk about something that, like if you were starting a team and you wanted a head coach to lead your team, who would you choose? Would it be Holzman or would it be Riley? Now, these are two great coaches, as we know. So let's get into it. Holzman, he has 613 wins with the New York Knicks, the all-time Knicks leading coach with wins. So he is, in the Raptors. We see him all the time. Holzman is a legend. So let's go to his win percentage. His win percentage is 5.530. Okay, and in 1969, he actually won Coach of the Year, Red Holzman. And in that same year, Red Holzman won 18 straight games. He took the team on an 18-game winning streak, which at the time, that was the NBA record. So 1970, 1973, Holzman also won those championships for us. We have two championships with him. So that's Holzman in a nutshell. Would you choose him? Okay, or would you choose the next guy I'm going to bring up? And that's Pat Riley. Pat Riley has 1,210 wins. He's one of the greatest. I think he's just behind Phil Jackson. So he's an illustrious coach. He had a nice era with the Lakers, and he won a championship with the Miami Heat, our enemies, our rivals. So, okay, and Riley also has 6 titles. Okay, so that's fantastic to have 6 titles. He's a Hall of Famer. Red Holzman is a Hall of Famer. It's just who you choose and who you like, who you think would be a better fit. Red Holzman, to me, he brought the mentality of, like I said, the greatest teams of all time, the Knicks, which is one of the top 5 teams in history because they play so smart and they pass the ball so well. So that's what we have for those two guys. Now let's go to Clyde, Frazier, and Jackson. Who would you choose if you were starting a team? And it's been a big debate about who's the greatest Knick point guard of all times. So these are the two guys that are in the top 2 in history of the Knicks. Now let's get to Mark Jackson first. Mark Jackson is a local guy. He played in Brooklyn in his high school years. He went to St. John's also. So he kept it local. Mark Jackson is a local guy. And let's look at Mark Jackson's stats. He's 3rd all-time in assists. I mean, 3rd all-time in the NBA in assists. There's only 2 people ahead of Mark Jackson, okay? That's John Stockton and that's Jason Kidd. Only 2 ahead of him. So he's definitely a Hall of Famer, Mark Jackson, all right? And that's why I say he's more of a passer than Clyde. Clyde was more of an everything man. He was the glue. So, I have a little favoritism towards Clyde because, when I think about him, I think about a lot of other things that he did. So, Mark Jackson, in his rookie season, he averaged 13.6 and 10.6 assists. So, 13.6 points and 10.6 assists. That's Mark Jackson. And he also averaged 2.4 steals, which is excellent, all right? So he was quick with his hands. Now, I just want to talk about his rookie year. His rookie year was excellent, and that was, his averages. Now, also following his rookie year, Mark Jackson made his first and only All-Star appearance, okay? First and only, get what I'm saying, all right? So he's the only one that's even in the level of Clyde, but he had one. Now listen to Clyde's stats. Let's get Clyde here. Now Clyde, he's a 7-time All-Star, which is fantastic. Like 7 times. Okay, so you're definitely a Hall of Famer with those numbers. And when I think about Clyde, I think about defense. Like I said, key steals in a major part of the game, and he also scores. So Clyde Frazier, 7 times all defense. You get it? The 7. You see behind me, Carmelo, 7. All right, 7 all defensive teams. Okay, so he also averaged 19.3 points and 6.3 assists. You see the difference? Mark Jackson was more of an assist guy. He was a double-double every night. So that's Clyde, and he also brought us our 2 championships, which no other Knick has done on any other team except that team. That 70 team and that 73 team. Excellent. So that's the stats with that. So that's why I say, when you talk about the greatest point guards of all time in the Knicks camp, you have to mention Clyde Frazier. It's hands down, if you look at the stats, you look at what his contributions were, Clyde Frazier is the greatest Knick of all time, period, to me. But as point guard, he's the greatest, okay? So this has been another segment of N.Y.K. Culture. You guys can reach out to me. I want to hear from you. I want to know your questions. I want to know what you're thinking, all right? You can hit me at eric21172@gmail.com, or you can give me a hit on IG, and that's going to be N.Y.K.Culture _, okay? Love talking to you. Everybody follow, like, and subscribe, all right? Please, we're going to keep this NYK culture thing going, all right? LIE, I'm out. Love y'all.